Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. As you guys can see, I got this neat little styrofoam RC plane to take a look at today. This is the FX622 from DEERC. Very basic. Uses a couple brush motors, pusher motors there to steer it. Very basic controls. It doesn't have, ailerons or anything to kind of like steer it around, but it is gyro stabilized with the motors to help it stay more stable while you're flying it. Has some little landing gear that you do attach, and it does say you can do a land takeoff, though I'm going to do a hand toss today. Again, just your throttle and your steering there, very, very basic. Now they give you two of the little LiPo batteries, and I apologize if this is not super easy to see here because I'm in the shade behind my house. So it may not show up great in the head cam, but they give you two of these little 1S LiPos, and it's really hard to read the capacity. I think it's 150 milliamp, but this little micro LoSi connector. You get some spare props and a screwdriver, which you expect with all this. And they do give you some LED light strips, which I don't have attached, of course, and they'll plug in right above where I'm holding the controller. They'll plug in right up here. I guess you run them along the wings and you can make it light up for like later in the day flying. But again, I don't have that attached obviously, so I'm not going to mess with that. So I'm going to take it out behind my fence here and we'll see how this little bird flies. So I'll be right back. Okay, let's turn this on. You're just going to have there's a little on and off switch right here. Then you turn on your controller. Then you do your bind sequence. And there we go, we got throttle. So I'm just going to do a hand toss. So you want to just give it full throttle. Let's throw it upwards. There we go. Yeah, really make sure there, it's getting some good altitude. That was good. Very nice. Really make sure that you throw it upwards, otherwise it'll nosedive like you saw there. And it's full throttle, it gains altitude. I'm gonna let off the throttle a little bit. I want to bring it down. Now we have plenty of altitude. I don't want to end up losing it in those trees over there. So I'm going to kill the throttle and just let it come down. Whoa, very good. Just don't want to lose it in those trees over there. A lot of sun glare facing this way, guys. I have to apologize. Yeah, this is flying great now. Not hard at all, very limited inputs. But now giving it throttle, it was able to pull out of that, and it didn't crash into the ground like it did earlier. I did try to kind of just level out the wings and make sure that everything was right, and maybe that helped out. Might have been pulling a little bit. Yeah, this is flying perfect now. Because you're going to crash some, but you shouldn't be crashing a ton. And this is very easy. See, now I'm full throttle, and now I'm going to pull back out of that. Earlier when I full throttled, it still just dove into the ground. Very easy flyer. That gyro stabilization is a huge help. Just got to make sure on these planes you got plenty of room. Oh, right into the right into the weeping willow tree. Okay, let's try it again here. I just noticed that I lost the landing gear, and I don't think I'm going to find it over there. Hopefully that won't matter. If it does, I'll just pull the rear off. I don't plan on doing any kind of takeoffs from the ground or landing on a hard surface. But keep that in mind. These landing gear and all these little beginner airplanes, they're notorious for falling off and you lose them. So I just have every single plane that I've had like these, I've always lost the landing gear on a crash. So you have to pay attention. I didn't pay attention when I picked it up because that's where you'll find the landing gear where it crashed. Doesn't appear to make a difference though. Like I said, ones like this, I want to hand toss these, hand launch them. You just can't. On the ground, it's going to be, I don't think it's going to work great. But it says it should, so it should. It's just that I don't know how well it'll take off. They're just so light and easy to launch. It's just safer, I think, to hand launch them. But as you saw, occasionally you may end up, if you don't get the angle right on launch, you may end up having it go into the ground. And the last thing I want to do here too is get it going to the top of that tree over there where I can't get it out. Yeah, this is a lot of fun. If you're someone that flies drones as much as me, you know, a plane is a lot different. It's a neat change. So like I said, you need a lot of space. You can kind of hear the motors, you know, some of that's the gyro adjusting which motor is getting the more throttle, and that helps it to level out the plane and make it more stable. So I'm giving it more throttle now, and it's picking up altitude. That's what we want to see. And here it comes back around. Very perfect day for flying one of these planes. I'm only giving it about half throttle now. Now you can see I give it a little more. As you start to get used to it, you can see how much throttle you need to give it. Because whenever it's working right, you can see it starts to gain altitude and you end up getting too high. You don't want to get one of these little planes too high, because the wind can be a little stronger up high, and that can cause you to end up losing the plane. Look at that. That's very I mean, that's surprisingly agile for having such basic controls. Yeah. Very, very cool. About half throttle now. Super easy to fly. I would say even if you can't fly a toy drone, you probably still can fly this plane, because it's less controls than a drone. Both the drones will have the gyro stabilization as well, but this has less controls. Orientation isn't as important. You know, you're not going to have your controls reversed and stuff on you as easily like you would on a drone. Yeah, you can see as I'm getting used to it here, it's becoming much easier to fly. Just getting used to the plane. At first, you know, we had a couple crashes. Get more used to the throttle, you know, the throttle amounts. How much throttle do you give it? Now I have a good idea. And look how easy this is to fly full throttle. And there it was able to gain altitude. Like I said, the first time or two, I full throttled it, and I still didn't gain altitude. But that could have also been I was maybe turning too much, and that's going to affect. You know, you're only going to get a lot of throttle from one motor when you're turning, because the other one has to slow down to steer, unlike a real true plane. Yeah, this is great. So if you're interested in this, there'll be a purchase link to Amazon. This would make an amazing gift for a younger kid for Christmas, and it's not going to break the bank. This is not going to be a whole lot of money. But look how easy this is to fly. Very, very easy. Like I said, you just need a calm day. I lucked out because tomorrow's supposed to be super windy. Oh yeah, I was able to pick back up altitude, even though I was turning. Oh, there we crashed. So this thing is fantastic, and it is easier to fly than a traditional plane because you have less inputs on the controller. All right, guys, that's to wrap up the review here of the little DEERC plane. If you're new to the channel, you like stuff like this, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned. I got plenty of stuff coming up, plus some pretty cool things I have coming up on the channel that I'm pretty excited to share with you guys. So if you like that, be sure to subscribe. Click the bell that way you're notified when I upload new videos. And as always, guys, have an awesome day.